Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dylan Garland. I am the director of the film you're about to watch. As you can see on the screen, attention, the following film is not recommended for younger viewers. That is because it touches on a little bit of a Christmas subject matter that I'm sure all the parents that are listening know about. And we kind of just wanted to give you a heads up that this film addresses that in a very, you know, not so hidden way. So if you have kids and that are still into the Christmas spirit, and I think you know what I mean by that, I'd shut this off right now. This commentary will talk about that pretty blatantly. So again, kids around, maybe not listen to it with them around. So yeah, I am the director writer of the film, Dylan Garland, and I guess through this we'll just sort of talk a little bit about the behind the scenes of how this film came together. Saint Rick was actually an idea that I had in high school, where it was about a 30-year-old man who still believed in Santa Claus, and he kind of had to cope with finally getting that information and learning the truth about good old Saint Nicholas. So Rick right there, originally I had hoped would be Will Ferrell. Had a little bit of an ambition when I first wrote the film back in like grade 10. But you know what? I think we got something better. I hope that doesn't bite me in the butt with Will Ferrell later on in life. But yeah, I think Keith was perfect for the role of Rick. I mean, he's goofy in real life, and that smile and just genuine, I guess, realism to the Rick character. I could believe that Keith Morrison, maybe in real life, would still believe in Santa Claus. No, I'm sure he doesn't, but it worked. It worked out really well. So yeah, the film has been kind of I guess you could call it in development for a very long time. So I wrote it in high school, and then years later, we actually got to make the film, which I'm very happy about. And we really couldn't have made it without the crew that you're seeing sort of course I say this when my name comes up, with the crew that's sort of popping up on the screen here and there. I can't make a movie without an amazing crew, and these people settle along their time, a lot of it volunteer hours, to make this happen, and I cannot thank them enough. Without the support of you guys, it's these things don't happen. I'm not making movies if I don't have support, and you cannot make a film on your own. And I gotta thank all these people. All right, so let's talk about a little bit about behind the scenes. I was actually working on a feature film in Chester, sort of at the time that the pre-production really happened for this film. And I was just working sort of as a production assistant and a camera assistant in Chester. So I actually returned the day before we were shooting, and I didn't get a full chance to really visit this location here, which would be Rick's house. So as you can see in the background of where Rick's parents are standing, you'll see just bare lumber kind of everywhere. See right in the back there. That is because we arrived on set pretty early in the morning to discover that there was construction going on in the kitchen. Full-blown construction, like everything that you could think of was being either torn apart or replaced, or everything from the cupboards to the floor. Not gonna lie, not a successful start to day one, morning one, scene one of Saint Rick. We basically had to ask the carpenters, hey, can you just pause for 20 seconds while we get the shot, and then we'll let you know when you can go again, because they were using drills, saws, everything else. So won't lie, bit of a stressful beginning to this, but I think we got through it. Nobody lost their hair, and we got it shot. It was stressful, to say the least, and I feel bad for the carpenters that we sort of just walked in on and told them to not do their work while we filmed, but we had to get a Christmas movie shot. We were on a deadline.
Yeah.
We needed it out for Christmas.
Actually, I'm surprised you didn't know.
So Colin, funny thing, Colin and Sarah, no relation, I don't think. I think we talked about this on set. Both last name are Campbell. Didn't know that. Didn't actually realize that until we got on set, and I thought it was pretty funny. I'd worked with Sarah before, but I think Colin was actually new to that, new to the acting thing, and he did a great job. Inside there, when he sort of walks out and leaves the tree in that sort of wide shot, we actually had another scene that we were going to put in with Rick coming back inside and slamming the tree down, but when we put it in the edit, it kind of seemed a little bit off in terms of, despite this being a comedy, it almost came off as a little bit too comedic, and maybe kind of forced as a forced laugh, so we actually cut it out. It was a pretty funny scene, though. We did a couple of takes where we basically just destroyed that Christmas tree. But in the end, didn't work out, so we kind of left it out of the film. The guy that Rick actually pushes out of the way when he first gets in the shot is actually my stepdad. Because my sister's in this. My sister's the girl with the purple hat. and she's been in basically every film that I've made. And I needed some extras for the day, so I dragged my mother and stepdad into the shot, and he gets pushed by Rick.
I'm not the real Santa, but what I am is one of Santa's many helpers.
See, I think originally for this scene, pretty sure I had envisioned a full-blown like spear, tackle, beat-down fight. But I think for maybe budgetary reasons and other reasons, I think we decided with just the cut to the arrest. I think it worked. I think it works out pretty damn well. Leon Harrington plays Santa Claus here. He's a good friend of mine, and he's actually helped me a lot in sort of behind the scenes of things and all that. I think it was the perfect fake Santa Claus, because he's got that very cheerful attitude, and he's good with kids. So I think that worked out. So yeah, here's my sister, Carly Brannon. She has been in films. My first film, The Sister, this film, St. Rick, and Ageless, which I just finished, depending on when you're watching this, last year, 2013. And she's also in the new one that I'm making, The Last Day of Fall. And I basically wanted some sort of innocence to kind of make Rick think that, this isn't about me. This is more of a, this is a bigger picture, and I think I need to realize that. A shot coming up, we go from innocence to this. A shot coming up where Rick turns around. He had joked that if there was ever sort of an Oscar memoriam and he had passed away that year and they needed a shot for him, how they show the tributes? This shot right here would be the one, and it would come up like Keith Morrison, year and year, whatever. So Keith, I'll hold on to this shot for you. God forbid that ever happens. I never want that to happen. But if it ever does, we'll save this shot specifically for that. Kevin there, who plays the cop, actually got the cop uniform for us and everything. He was a huge help in that entire character. He basically took the ball of the cop and ran with it, got all the supplies ready, he got all the costuming ready, and he made it possible for us to actually have a cop. So thank you, Kevin, big time. A little bit about this scene, actually. This scene didn't exist in the first draft of the script. It actually cut from the cop letting him go to the end scene of the film. But later on in production, actually like a week before we were about to shoot, I was kind of reading through the script and I realized that we need another point to kind of push Rick in the direction that he needs to go. We didn't quite think that it was strong enough to have the little girls just say 2 lines to him and have that be it. But we needed somebody that Rick trusted to really drive the message home. And I am so very happy we wrote this in, because Sarah knocked this out of the park. The reason that this works is Sarah Campbell. And before this, she only had really like a few lines in the beginning of the film. But with this, she gets her own scene. She really takes it home, and she just did a fantastic job. I love Sarah to death. I've worked with her a few different times, and she has just been a blast to work with. One of the nicest people I have ever met in my life, as you can see. That genuine happiness and support that you're seeing that's Sarah. And I hope that I get to work with her at least once more in my career, because she is just a fantastic to work with. So thank you, Sarah. This next scene, in the Sunnyside Mall, which I want to thank everybody who let us shoot at the Sunnyside Mall. You are a lifesaver. As well as Freak Lunchbox, which you can see in the corner. They actually gave us permission to use the logo, so they didn't have to blur it out. Awesome, because that would have taken too long, and we had like 4 days to edit this, so that would have been hell on earth. This scene right here, I had gotten back, as I said, late. So when I went in to see the location and kind of check everything out, I couldn't get a real good understanding of exactly what the sound would be like. So there's a large humming that I think you can probably hear within the audio of this that we didn't realize at the time, because when we went in, the people were walking and all that. Right there is actually Keith's son and wife that he's sort of playing with right there, which I thought was nice to end on a little bit of a family note, which was awesome. And Santa's elf, Brittany Jean Blake, who has been in a lot of my work. That was a last minute thing, and I think she'll probably hate me for the rest of her life for me, making her be an elf. But thank you, Brittany. I know it probably sucked, but you were cheerful. You brought the film to a nice little happy end. So thank you. And another thank you to all these people that are scrolling across the screen right now. Without any of you, like I said before, this isn't possible. I cannot make movies without a dedicated crew and support from every single person that is on this, and really more. Any person that sort of helped me up to this point, thank you so very much. I hope that I get to work with you all again, and I very much hope that I can repay the favors that you've given me. And to all the Indiegogo supporters, thank you so very much for not only giving us support in sort of a moral thing, but actually financially giving us your hard-earned money to make a film about a guy learning about Santa Claus. I cannot put into words how much I appreciate your help. And I as much as I hate it, it's probably not a good thing that I hate this, considering it's probably the reverse of my career. I hate asking for money for things, because I feel very much responsible that I should find my own. But Indiegogo and stuff like that, we wouldn't have been able to do this, these independent films, without the support of Indiegogo and all the people that helped us through the Indiegogo campaign. So thank you so very much for all of that. This film has come to an end. Hopefully this commentary has been, at the very least, somewhat entertaining. Our main goal is to entertain you, so we hope that this is entertaining to you, and that it can take you away from reality for a little bit, so you can experience a little bit of a story and a little bit of entertainment. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you for the support, and all I can say is thank you. All right, I am out. Thank you. My name is Noah Garland, director, writer of the film, and again, in case I can't say it enough, thank you for making it possible for me to be a director. All right.